So do you have to give a child whatever he or she wants? Or do you have limits to what to give to a child? And also, what morals does your child have? Does it honors God or glorifies the devil? Today we are seeing parenting as one of the key things in marriages. Children are blessings, but they can also be curse in your family. That depends on how you bring them up. And so forth, the scripture tells us that we should know that training a child from when they are growing up shall also orient on how they can be in the future. In a sense that we should train children in the ways that they should grow, so that when they grow, they will not depart from that way. So forth, the scripture tells us also that, in a sense, God's chosen child will also walk in God's way. That's the way that is right and a way that glorifies God by doing what is just. And so forth, training a child is like telling a child, which morals should you have? Which morals will make you a better person in the future? And so forth, good morals, as we know, glorifies God, but bad morals glorifies the devil. And so it is up to you as a parent or a guardian to train up a child in the way you want them to grow up. So forth, a child can also do what is wrong, that pleases the devil, but parents or guardians, they have also certain ways to discipline a child. And we see, as also the scripture says, that he who loves the children will not spare the rod, rather will use the rod to discipline the child. And I know most parents and guardians, they do that. In that case, you need to be very careful in a sense of overdoing. That's the disciplining by the use of rod can also at times spoil a child. So when punishing a child using rod or showing them correction, as we understand, a rod in the scripture, the shepherds, they use it to guide back the sheep in the way the sheep are getting lost. So as a parent or a guardian, you can use the rod to also direct the child back to the right path or to the right moral. And that's the moral that glorifies the creator, but not the created. We see also that a child can be foolish at times, as the scripture says, but if you use the rod of correction, it can, of course, guide back the child and drive out foolishness out of the child. And so forth, let's answer the idea that whether you should give a child whatever a child asks or not. We find that most parents, they favor children in whatever they want. A child can ask for something, they just give it right away. But is that really good for a child? In beliefs or in a means of which Christ taught to his followers, is that we need to be people who carries their own cross. The way of the cross is the way of self-denial. That's to say, the little you have, you need to cherish. And so forth, as long as you're still away from God's kingdom, here is the place where you can have only a few basic needs that's necessary for your life. So train up a child knowing that in this life, it's also hard to get some of those things. But it's best if you can show them also the direct way of how to get some of those things in the right way. That way, whatever they do when they grow up, they shall have in mind doing what is right. And that's what glorifies God.